What does the Clinical Informatics Center do? I addressed that in small pieces in my first few videos as I was learning, and I'm going to revisit it today after we presented with other CTSA leaders to the External Advisory Board. This is a snapshot of the informatics program at UT Southwestern and what it's accomplished, and its foundation that we'll build on this year. The Master of Science in Health Informatics is led by Jonathan Reeder. We currently have 32 students over 2 cohorts and are in the middle of recruitment. Students have very diverse backgrounds and come from regional health systems as well as internationally. The Clinical Informatics Fellowship trains physicians to be board certified in clinical informatics. Avery just moved to Iowa and Janet's going to Waco, where they will be Associate Chief Health Information Officers. The fellowship's housed in pediatrics, but as you can see, our fellows are also internists, surgeons, pathologists, and gastroenterologists. The Informatics Coordinating Office, or ICO, is the consulting arm for clinical informatics. We've had almost 400 consults over the last few years. Many end with us providing advice and walking people through the right processes to access and analyze data. But some of the consults result in collaborations on projects ranging from building data registries that integrate with the EHR to developing and implementing clinical decision support tools. What got the most positive response from the reviewers was the mapping of EHR data to the OMOP Common Data Model. Now, many of you will be surprised, like, why is that exciting? UT Southwestern, THR, and Parkland have finished mapping, and Children's is about to release theirs. This means that if you do a query on UT Southwestern data, you can run the exact same query without any modification on data from the other 3 health systems. Of course, you need to get the right permissions, but the harmonization of data has already occurred behind the scenes. Because hundreds of organizations around the world have also mapped their data to OMOP, you can do multi-center studies using EHR data. Well, what's next? UT Southwestern will be making additional types of data available for research, including imaging and pathology reports, and they're creating enclaves within the cloud so that you can run machine learning tools on the data. And there are plans for making clinical notes mapped with natural language processing more accessible. This year, we've launched a clinical informatics speaker series on advancing a learning health system. Scan the QR code here to learn more. We'll host talks twice a month, a grand rounds and a seminar series. Thursday was our first seminar talk given by a fellow, a CMIO, and a researcher. They described their evaluation of ambient scribes in the emergency department, which provided evidence enough to roll it out across the organization. There was a lot of discussion afterward about how to go beyond evaluations needed by the health system and proactively study these tools to learn more about the optimal way to leverage them for good. The grand rounds will focus on how to implement the insight we gain from practice and research. We have 6 amazing speakers scheduled to share their experience and learnings. These speakers come from industry, research, and operations, and have demonstrated unique success in learning health system science, implementation of innovation in healthcare, and digital transformation of care. Our first grand rounds is Thursday, February 12th, and we will feature Joshua Liu talking about going beyond the pilot, lessons for scaling digital health and health systems. You may know of him from his thoughtful and visual LinkedIn posts about technology adoption and how technology affects the relationship of the patient and the healthcare system, as in this post describing how patients using ChatGPT can make the health system better. Many of us experienced the freezing weather this weekend. I think my bathroom pipe is frozen, and my first experience with sleet and owning a pool. I don't know if you can count this as Kari's and Shai's first experience with snow because it's not technically snow, but they were curious and have been spending a lot of time outside in the cold.